Escape from Planet Earth. And take this shit with you while you're going.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I didn't. Well, I'll just say it. I don't want to give too much away because, first of all, Brian Salisbury.
You know what?
When
I walked in and none of the rest of the crew was here, I thought I was going to get whacked. I thought it was like Tommy and Goodfellas. Like, that's it. You're done.
Like I was going to walk up behind you and just put a bullet in your head. Brian,
come on over. Be on a review. Be on a boom.
Brian, no, Brian. In fact, I'm happy now that you and I, we don't have to have the rest of those guys here. You and I have some alone time. I got the chilled wine right here.
Uh-oh.
I got the slow jams playing, Brian.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, are you comfortable?
My pedo sense is tingling.
Oh, Brian, no, I've been waiting all this time for you to be of age. Please, and now the time is right.
This is the perfect intro for a children's movie review, I think.
Hey, you okay? I got some candy. You want some?
No.
Okay, you okay? All right.
As I said to all the kids in the screening, don't accept candy from strangers, especially Corey.
And by the way, people, we're doing this review in a van.
Yeah, it's quite spacious, actually.
Very colorful, isn't it? Yeah,
you got a water bed. Look at that.
Yeah, go ahead and sit back. You mind if I lay right here beside you?
What?
Get comfortable?
What's
Yeah, it's
going
okay,
on?
man. Yeah, hey, it's the perfect time to talk about a children's movie. Escape from Planet Earth, Brian.
Yep, not a sight of Snake Plissken anywhere in this movie. I was very disappointed.
I'm sorry for that because I know you were looking for that.
I know, man.
And you look so disappointed when you came in. I'm so sorry that you had to go through this. Now you know. I don't know if you've done this before. What we have done, we have spent so many years going to screenings of children's movies where we are the only adults walking up to the box office.
Well, I mean, it's one thing when the children's movie screens for press and there's a bunch of us there and then they let in, all of these, what is it that Leon calls them? Pass holes, like people who are like getting like free passes to go into the movie. And then, I mean, we're surrounded by people. That's one thing, but like on a random Friday afternoon and there's like us and two other kids in the theater.
No, I thought I had it bad. First of all, try going to a screening of Oogie Loves at 1:00 in the afternoon.
I will not.
No, and Don, we were talking about this. That's where you get the look where the person that the teenager or the young adult they have behind the box office glass, they're a little too calm. They're a little too polite. You get the feeling that there's a button underneath the desk and they're about to press it because they always say, "Hey, enjoy your movie, sir." And you know that they're looking at you like, why is this grown-ass man coming in here to see this?
He looks a little molesty. I'm just going to push the button here.
Exactly, yeah. Like bank tellers do whenever they're about to get robbed. Yeah, they got the pedal button under there.
Well, it doesn't help that I go to these screenings in my underwear, so I guess they probably push the button for multiple reasons when it comes to me.
I guess that's what it is. Maybe that's what I need to do. I usually wear my trench coat, big along and nothing underneath. But maybe there's some hidden agenda there. So you come in your underwear, they already know what's coming. You should have heard the one that co-host did though. Now it's one thing to go to a movie in the middle of the day when they know they're gonna have a couple of kids. As creepy as you may be, at least they know that there's somebody to come and see it.
Right.
Try going to see a kids movie like Marmaduke at midnight, where the guy who's working the projection is thinking, surely nobody's coming to see this movie at midnight. This guy has already, he's got his date planned. He's already called his girl. He's about to get some ass. And then here comes co-host. One for Marmaduke. God damn it.
He just comes hovering in. And that guy's like, God damn you.
And one guy just had to be that one to fuck up my evening.
You had to be the Marmaduke who ruined my entire evening.
It's that point. It's that point where the projectionist come down and he says, "Did my friend send you? Is this a joke?
I will pay you to leave."
Yeah, you can't come see this tomorrow. Yeah, but now you've gone to see Escape from Planet Earth.
Hooray!
Yes, and we're going to talk about this movie, people, because I don't even know why we need to talk about this, because at its core, Brian, it is a run-of-the-mill animated CG family film.
I thought Planet 50, Mars Needs, Escape from Planet Earth was fine, actually, but it's, what, there's a trend, man, like really early in the year, like in the spring or like in November, they release these very mediocre sci-fi animated family films. I know, like, if you go back and start tracing it, it's this weird pattern where some of them are good, but most of them are, Mars Needs Moms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You said it too. Planet 51, Mars Needs Moms, and now we have Escape from Planet Earth. And what I want to know is, what's the deal with the Weinsteins where they got to chase after shitty, not just bad, but shitty. I'm not saying that this is one. Well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't want to give away too much yet, but they go after some of the shittiest animated films, man. And I mean, they go after them. Like with this one right here, I was reading where they had a lawsuit with somebody. And they had to put some money in a certain fund to...
Wait. Somebody else wanted to make this movie and they were fighting over it?
There was from what I was reading, there's a lot of money that was spent. I don't know the whole details. People just look it up. All I know is that there was a lot of rewrites, some additional staff hired to work on this, and then they had legal matters to deal with because some dudes on the back end of this said they weren't getting paid enough for this.
Wait a minute. A movie involving the Weinstein, somebody didn't get paid? I don't believe that for a second.
Those Weinsteins, they look so honest, man.
They will buy your movie just to put it on a shelf so no one will ever see it. These are ruthless cunts, these guys.
Yeah, they have been known to do things like that. Or they'll buy some shit animated movies and make us sit down and watch them.
Yes, indeed.
This one, I've seen worse with them. I will say that.
Sure.
I've seen worse. What we have here with Escape from Planet Earth, if you remember anything, Brian, is
I remember that there were aliens.
okay, little blue aliens on the planet Bob. Not B-O-B, but B-A-A-B.
See, that's clever because, boy, I don't get it.
No, somebody just thought it sounded funny.
Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Now, on the planet Bob, they're kind of like us, man. You know, they have a society that's much like ours. They're just blue and they got pointy ears. They even got the heroes. On the planet Bob, the hero is, what's this dude's name? Scorched Supernova.
Yes.
Saw a porn flick with that guy one time.
Yeah,
Love
Scorched
his work.
Supernova?
Oh, yeah, that guy's work is amazing.
It was called Spaceballing?
Hey, now wait a minute. Hey, you got a career in animated film right here. You know that?
Hey, all right.
You better call those Weinsteins up real quick, Brian.
The cock rings of Saturn? Yeah, I remember those.
Hey, now wait a minute. Now, come on. It's a children's review,
Shit,
Brian.
you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing this for the kids, man. Come on now.
For the kids.
Yeah, and the kids' band right here. Come on. So, Scorched Supernova, voiced by Brendan Fraser. Big,
What?
strong,
He's
handsome.
not dead?
No, that guy is. That's what I said. I said Brendan Fraser's still around.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
He's not a mummy. He's living. He's breathing. He's apparently doing Weinstein animated films now.
Yeah. But what was the last thing Brendan Fraser had done?
A supermarket opening in Pasadena, I think.
He did that. Okay.
Yeah, I believe he cut the ribbon.
For the local Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, exactly.
Go Brendan Fraser. All right. He's my hero now. But Scorched Supernova. Big, strong, handsome guy. He's sort of the action hero for that planet, except he's an astronaut. He goes to explores the universe and does all kind of heroic things. Turns out he has a brother. Call him his little brother because he's smaller than him. Actually, his big brother. Nobody takes notice of this guy. His brother is voiced by Rob Corddry. The reason why nobody takes notice of that guy, Brian, is because he's just nerdy.
He's very nerdy. It's an age-old story. Like, we've seen this 100 times before, where you have kind of the more well-meaning nerdy brother versus the jockish brother that gets all the attention. I mean, like, we just saw this with Arthur Christmas. I mean, had this same storyline, and you could go back and list 100 movies that kind of do this same dynamic.
Yes, it's a tale as old as the age of time. What were those boys' names? Cain and Abel. You know, go all the way back. Yeah, you get that sibling brother rivalry going on.
I was kind of hoping for a similar ending with this story as the Cain and Abel one, but
instead, you were the one that got knocked in the head, Brian.
Boom.
You were the one.
It was biblical.
This dude's so nerdy, Gary. Brian, that his name is. Start to call you his name. This dude is so nerdy. His name is Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, the blue alien computer nerd. Now,
Bob.
From the planet Bob. Oh my God. This plot is so thick right here.
Yeah.
You could eat it with a spoon, man.
So many levels.
Oh my God, so deep. I don't know if the children can understand, Brian. but the tables are turned when see, they work as a team. Bob is Bob. That's the fucking plan. Scorch is usually the one who's going out to the planets, and Bob, God damn it, Gary, shit, Gary has it's so confusing, Brian. I can't keep up.
It's so many different layers of plan. I don't know what to do.
This Shakespearean children's story. But
so Iago shows up, and then Desdemona's all pissed off.
but Gary usually has Scorch's back.
Yeah.
But the Scorch is so egotistical, he doesn't notice that. So tables are turned, Brian, when they're sent to the dark planet.
The dark
A
planet.
planet called Earth.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, Gary said, man, don't go there, man, I'm telling you. And Scorch said, I'm going to go anyway. Fuck you, man, I'm going to go anyway. He said, well, you know what? If you do this, Scorch, I'm out. I don't have your back anymore. And Scorch said, hey, man, you know what? You nothing to me anyway. People know me. You don't do shit for me. Go press your little buttons.
Piss off, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Fucking Gary.
Jesus, Gary.
Quit bugging the fuck out of me, Gary. Let me do my job. So when Scorch gets to Earth, things go wrong. He's captured by Area 51. There's this evil general voiced by William Shatner.
Yeah, I guess it's Shatner. It doesn't sound like Shatner at any point.
It doesn't sound like Shatner at all. It turns out that the reason why this planet is so dark is that when ever any life form that's alien to Earth comes down, they never come back. Turns out the general asshole Shatner is kidnapping all these aliens and making them work on some big secret weapon.
Yeah, it's essentially like if Area 51 were Nike. It's just a giant sweatshop. And it tricks aliens into coming there just so they'll build iPhones and make a shit ton of money.
Exactly. Instead of little Chinese kids, we have little aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
They're cheaper.
Are they?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the latest economical chart of sweatshops, but
let's ask the little Chinese kids that have working on Spill. Hey, kids.
The entire Spill animation department.
Exactly. Little hands draw little pictures, man.
That's how Shanker bankrolls his place. He rips off our technology and sells it to the world. He's got deals with everybody. Apple, Facebook, them Google guys. You think humans can build this stuff? I don't think so.
But the problem that I have with this movie, the biggest problem that I have with this movie, I see this all the time. And I have a problem with the kind of humor that I see here in CG animated films, as well as some 2D to CG animated films that are shows that I see on TV. As far as the film goes, this follows kind of every generic qualification. I'm talking about what executives consider this is what you need just for basic, successful CG animated films.
Yeah, it's not taking any chances. It's not doing anything new. I mean, at the risk of sounding like I'm making a pun, I'm really not. You can see the plot beats coming from space. Like, there's just that mapped. It's like, this is going to happen, then that's going to happen. Oh, reconciliation, and this is going to... It's like, oh my God, we know. Just get on with it.
Yeah, it's not even the plot, because honestly, for a lot of the children's movies today, I mean, how serious do they want their plots to be? How complicated do they want them to be? I think people could do better, but it's just the certain elements that they throw in that they feel are obligatory here.
Yeah.
You have, you know what? The fuck? I'm not trying to remember this. I wrote this down when I was in the theater.
Yeah?
Yeah. Shit, I pulled a Brian, man. I took notes.
You did?
Yeah, I was like you, man. I said, you know what? Brian's gonna come in here with notes.
Look at you going all Doogie Howser like I do.
Man, I did my homework. I wrote this down, Brian.
I'm happy.
See, you are inspirational.
Dear Abby.
Dear Brian. Okay, so you have humor. Mm-hmm. The humor is you have sayings and outdated dances that adults think are cool.
Yeah.
And the only kids that are going to really think they're cool are very, very small kids.
In so much as you actually hear an alien say, "Get down with your bad self."
Get down with your bad self.
What? Why?
Or, I hate that one. Or, who's taking out the trash? And
I don't know, probably the alien with the trash can? Is that lingo?
Custodian janitor alien over there? Or they do the moonwalk. I hate when they don't know what else to do. A cartoon character celebrates something big by doing the moonwalk. I hate that. Something else they have here. They throw in a song. They always throw in some kind of song because it's either for some cheap emotional part or they're going to sell that song.
Yeah,
songs kind of generic.
The music in this movie is awful. Like not just the songs that are sung. Which, by the way, one of them that gets repeated sounds like what's a little shit's name that's making all the music right now? Looks like a girl.
Oh, Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Don't act like you don't know.
I literally had a brain fart. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, it sounds like the most auto-tuned Justin Bieber bullshit, but with a country beat. So awesome, times 12.
Oh, yeah, they bring in the female vocalist to do a song. They bring in the Will.i.am knockoff who does everything with auto-tune. They bring in the Justin Bieber. Yeah, I mean,
Why is there so much party music at Area 51? Anytime anything goes well, it's like, what the fuck
I don't know,
happening?
But I want to go. Hey, you think we can get in?
Yeah, I don't know. We might have to be on the list for that.
Not with those shoes, Brian, you know. Also, Brian, I know this is another peeve of yours because it's a peeve of mine. For spice, you know what they do?
They give all the aliens different ethnicities?
They do, yes. They throw, speaking of which, was Eddie Murphy working on Shrek 5 or something? Because they got Craig Ferguson to come in and do an almost perfect Eddie Murphy, man.
Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
To do an impression of Eddie. That's what I thought it was at first. Like, did they actually get Eddie Murphy for this?
I thought, did they get Eddie Murphy and get him drunk or tranquilize him to where he's, because Craig is doing Eddie Murphy, except he doesn't take it to this level.
Pretty much.
Gotta keep it right here.
Gus, why is the movie so bad? Gus, why the fuck? No, look at me. This is my house.
This is my motherfucking movie.
I paid the bills. Why is the movie so bad?
I like the way you turn Jamaican.
I don't know.
What the movie's about, man?
Don't let them fool you. Oh, no.
I don't know what that was, but I like it. I think we can get into the club Area 51 with that.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, they got the black character, they got the Latino character, and they throw them in as side funny characters, and they always do that just to spicing things up in here. To add some attitude.
Just to pull in demographics, man. I mean, let's be honest. That's exactly how they think. It's like, oh, we'll get to the Latino demographic, and we'll get the black demographic. It's like, there is no reason on Earth or anywhere else that an alien on another planet would be Sofia Vergara. There's no reason an alien would have a thick Spanish accent. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, immigration let her through, I guess.
Well, I guess she's an illegal alien on a couple levels.
Yeah, she could cross that cosmic border, my friend. They that's one of the things that bothers me too. I mean, they do this all the time to the point that it's so obvious that it's embarrassing.
And it wouldn't be anything at all if they were actually cast and brought something to those characters. If by casting them they enrich those characters, but George Lopez doesn't do anything. Sofia Vergara doesn't really do anything. Like, Craig Robinson's at least trying, but he's trying to sound like Eddie Murphy. Like, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's what you have here. You got Craig Robinson as one of the aliens that's imprisoned in Area 51, little gerbil-looking thing, and George Lopez is some slug with 3 eyes, and that's what they do. They're there to say lines with either an accent like this or to say lines that black people would do with a head roll or the neck roll. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I ain't going now. You know, what you coming in here for? Come on.
I'm going to let you do those impressions. I'm just going to sit over here quietly.
Want to try? Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Sure?
No, I'm good.
I'm giving you the pass, man. Come on.
I don't need to be crucified again today. No, I'm fine. I'm totally. But you're right. Like, and the other thing that bothers me is, going back to these voice actors, they just don't use them well. Like, for example, what's his name from Chris Parnell, who is a great voice actor. He was on SNL. He does a lot of voices, or he does a voice on Archer. He's really good at it.
And he's one of the humans that see one of the good humans.
Right. In the scene where, because it was inevitable that this movie was going to get like Slurpee cups at 7-Eleven, so they actually just built 7-Eleven into the movie to go around the middleman. But yeah, he's one of the 2 employees there, and they literally just give him like monosyllabic exclamations to say. He doesn't even have any real lines.
Yeah.
You get to the end like, that was Chris Parnell. Couldn't they have hired anybody to do that? Because that guy didn't talk.
Yeah, I think that's what you have all these celebrity voices here. You have Rob Corddry, you have Jane Lynch. I mean, I'll even give Craig Robinson and George Lopez some credit here, because these are all actors. Either they're actors who are C grade, or it's a mixture of C grade actors and A-list actors who are big names. Jane
Which
Lynch,
I think averages out to like a B-.
It does. Yeah, thanks for doing the math.
Yeah.
But they really don't do a whole lot with some of the celebrity voices they have here. I couldn't even recognize that was Rob Corddry.
I couldn't recognize that. I couldn't recognize Sarah Jessica Parker or Jessica Alba.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica Alba does not have a distinctive voice, in my opinion. Like, I don't see why somebody would she's beautiful, but you're going to animate her anyway. She's not that great an actress, and it's not like she has a distinct, oh, well, you know what? That's Jessica Alba right there. That's why I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah, they gave the character something to do, but, I mean, not much in a movie like this, but as far as the voices go, Sarah Jessica Parker is run-of-the-mill. Anyone could be voice of the wife of one of the aliens, and and Jessica Biel is
Alba.
Somewhat of a. I mean,
see, you can't even tell them apart in name. That's part of the problem.
But she's a villain, but the voice is still kind of. Hey, I can't tell the difference between her and anybody else.
It's as bland as the rest of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of complaints here because they're rightfully so. I mean, like I said, this is pretty much just obligation. This is what we're going to pay to make money. But I do think that there's some things funny here. I mean, you got to keep in mind. I saw Area 51. Have you seen Area 51?
Oh, Planet 51?
I'm sorry, Planet 51.
I think I did. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many of these movies that I can't even tell them straight. So I think I did.
Well, after these movies that you've named, Planet 51,
Mars Needs
Moms, those are horrible. This is, as you say, it's just bland to where I would feel better if I saw this on Nickelodeon as a television series.
Yeah, it's passable, but I mean, and a lot of people are going to say, well, it's a family movie. What did you expect? Or, you can't pick on family movies. I mean, the only thing I really expect from movies like this is for everyone in it to try. Like, if you're going to get paid to do something, no matter what it is, I want to see effort. And I'm not seeing that across the board in this movie. However, it's not quite as egregious as some of the things we've seen before either.
Well, with Planet 51 and Mars Needs Moms was just fucking creepy. I mean, that was that. It was unnecessary.
Give me my mom back, alien.
They took it. They took it from. It was creepy because that was Robert Zemeckis doing that whole motion capture thing. And it was.
He was making movies in the uncanny valley.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. He was right in the middle of it, right there, and it was unnecessary because they took it from a great art style, and they had a story that they could have done more with, and it was just a waste. Yeah. Planet 51 was just loud and had nothing else going for it.
It was like jingling keys in kids' faces. It's like, not very good, but it's loud.
Or screaming in the kid's face. Hey, don't you find me funny, kid? Yeah. You're the drunk person. You're the drunk adult at the party trying to make the kids laugh.
That is usually me, yeah.
Hey, been there and done that.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
I ruined that kid's 6th birthday party. I'm really sorry. Whatever your name was. In East Austin. My apologies.
In East Austin.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are great bars over there. And then you stumble home and you wander into some kid's birthday party.
Some kid in the back of in their backyard. Just, hey,
I should mention that I was drinking at noon. I mean, that may have been part of the problem.
Trying to swim in the cake. Great pool.
Get out of the cake.
But there was this movie is not like that. Now, when I say that I don't like this kind of humor, it's what I don't like about animated TV shows today that I see, and to a certain extent some animated movies.
What's that?
It's loud and frantic, and not necessarily because the humor is also that bad. It is, but that's what animators like. Animators like loud, frantic action because it gives them something to work with. That's why when I see these, I call them animators movies.
Sure.
Because they're not concentrating so much on the story. If you look from an animator's point of view, and I know that nobody else sees this, but if you look at it from an animator's point of view, you see the same animation expressions repeated. You see the same gestures repeated. And it's because they have a library of these gestures that they use for this kind of humor, which I say is just loud and all over the place. That's what it's like on TV. You watch any kind of, the trend today in animated television is this kind of humor. And I could even carry this on to live action shows too. If anything, this reminds me of humor that I see on How I Met Your Mother, and I don't like that show.
Well,
it's very obvious.
I do like that show. I don't like the way that the animation is used here, and it's not just the frantic movement, but it's really shiny. Like it's shiny and I guess well developed, but there's no real depth to it. Like when they're flying through these worlds, it's like okay, it's very colorful. You've made everything shine really well, but like when you pull back and look at it, it's like okay.
Yeah, that's not a whole.
So maybe that's why they're moving around so much, so you don't have time to look at how like basically everything is drawn.
Even the art style is tailored for kids. You're right. I mean, everything is very smooth. Everything is large proportioned, and the designs are pretty safe too. I mean, especially down with the blue aliens. I mean, they got the big wide blue eyes, liquidy, watery blue eyes.
It's like they're from Planet Disney Princess or something.
Exactly. Yeah. You could have stopped at just Planet Disney. Yeah. So this kind of animation is not for me. Maybe I look too deep into it. This kind of animated movie is not for me. But I will say, again, where those other movies were kind of void of any kind of entertainment value to me, there were certain parts in here that I thought were clever. Certain things that I thought made me laugh. The whole, okay, you might want to say that is blatant product placement, and it is. But I did find it funny that aliens are attracted to that lone 7-Eleven out in the middle of nowhere. They didn't do much with it, but I thought it was a funny idea. I like the whole thing of the guy trying to make communications with that. What do they call those things?
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yes, the tube people. Yes. Yeah. Plus, I just love those things myself. And whenever they brought on an educational film or they did something that had to explain something that was of culture or whatever, I always thought that was funny. For example, when the aliens are captured by Area 51, Gary is shown an educational film about the proper etiquette on how to behave for Earth.
Yeah.
I found that very funny.
Yeah, and because it bared all the earmarks of like those bad 50s educational film strips.
And again, not anything that was. I mean, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it's that was even any kind of inspired humor. But I still found it more clever than anything else that I saw in the movie.
Well, something that I thought started off as really clever, but the more they did it, the more it grated on me, is all the director shout-outs. I don't know if you caught this, but like all of these government agents in these yellow coveralls that look like those minions from Despicable Me. Yeah, they look like the minions from Despicable Me on steroids. And every time they're referred to by name, they're called by the names of directors. Like at the beginning, it's like, Peter, Jackson's down. Marty, Quentin, go get... And it's like, okay, that's kind of clever. But they kept doing it. At one point, you're right, it's like, James, Cameron, get the aliens. And I was like, all right. At some point, I just expect them to go, Hitch, Cock, we need to give you guys better names. Or, Brett, tell Ratner he's bad at his job. Like...
Well,
you know what I mean?
Had the movie gone longer, they would have got to those names too. And you know what? That's cool that you caught that. I guess I just wasn't paying attention at a certain point, because the only time I caught it is when they were saying, James, Cameron, go out there and do that.
They kept it throughout the whole movie, and I was like, okay, that was clever the first time, but how many kids know who the hell James Cameron or Peter Jackson, or the fact that Martin Scorsese is called Marty sometimes? Like, what kid knows that? So obviously that's for the parents.
Yeah.
And for, somebody of, I guess, the age group they were talking to, I was like, okay, but you're annoying me, so.
Because even though it's a joke that worked, it worked once, maybe twice, you don't need to keep doing it.
No, that's okay.
It's almost as if the movie's saying, oh, what? We do have something clever here.
This is for you.
Yeah, hey, let's keep it up, because they got nothing else.
Here's what I'm going to say to that. If you really want to start giving something for the adults, just hand us a whiskey when we walk into the theater so the kids can watch the images and be entertained, and, maybe we'll be a little bit more entertained. Every time you buy a ticket as an adult for a children's movie, they should just hand you a whiskey.
You get a free shot or two. Yeah,
there you go.
Get a bottle. Get like one of those mini bottles you get on an airplane.
That would be progressive. That would be clever. I would thank the Weinsteins for that.
By the time you're getting out of the movie, you're drunk. Kid, you go, come on, boy, let's go.
I loved Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah,
that was Pacific Rim. Yay!
What do you give it, man? I mean,
again, like
we've said everything that we can say.
We really have. I mean, again, it's not terror. This is, man, it's so paltry, the entire review of this movie, but it's so bland. And,
hey, I like chicken, man.
I do too. It's so slight a movie that there's really not a reason to go much more in depth than to say it's nothing you haven't seen before. It's executed with a little bit more adeptness than some of the stuff we've seen in years past of the same variety. But overall, it's still a very forgettable experience. So I'd give it a rental. I think what you said about seeing this on Nickelodeon hits it right on the head, because it's like, just rent it, watch it on TV. You're not losing anything by not seeing it on a big screen.
Yeah, this humor that you see here is no different from something that you would see on Fairly Odd Parents or any other show on Nickelodeon these days. Yeah, I'm the same with you, man. I give it a rental. It's nothing new, and for your smallest of kids, it will be entertaining. Yeah. And if you sit there and watch it with them at home, you might get a little entertainment value, but only in spurts as you're walking through the house.
You might think it's hilarious that every time a character falls down, he also farts. I don't know. That happens in this movie.
Was there a fart joke in this?
No. Every time there were characters that every time they fell down, they couldn't just do a pratfall. They made a pratfall and then a fart noise at the same time, and it was like, really? The kids weren't just going to laugh at the fall? We have to add the fart as well?
They're very gassy on Planet Bob.
Apparently so.
Yeah, come on now. Well, everybody, it's our review of, what's this movie called again? So forgettable. I can't remember that. Escape from Planet Earth. I remember it. I'll just test you. This has been Brian.
And this has been Corey.
And I'm Sanger.